Hello and welcome back to my Premier League predictions for the upcoming 25-26 campaign. Of course, we've got some who do you think will get relegated, who do you think will win the league. I've got a few surprises in mind, so yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe when watching my videos. And yeah, let's just jump straight into my 25-26 Premier League predictions for the upcoming season. And in bottom spot or in 20th spot, we have got Burnley. I mean, it's quite obvious that Scott Parker's side will be getting relegated this season. I said it when they got promoted from the Championship last season that they would go straight back down. They have done a bit of impressive business, though, not really to challenge the likes of the Brentford, who probably will struggle this season as well as a few others, maybe West Ham and Wolves as well down there. They brought in Ugo Chukwu from Chelsea, £28 million on loan at Southampton last season. Schauner from Lazio is a decent signing for £15 million. Bashir Humphreys, one of Chelsea's youth prospects. Marcus Edwards has signed on a permanent deal. He is an okay winger. The side, Jadon Anthony. Hartman, the left back from Finals, Ian Fleming from Millwall on a permanent. Brun Larsen is back at Burnley from Stuttgart, and Max Weiss has come in from Karlsruhe, and they've also brought in Axel Tuanzebe and Kyle Walker, so that is not bad signings from them. They'll be lucky to do a bit better than where I have predicted them in 20th. Maybe they can provide a bit of a fight this season. I very much doubt it, though, as the three promoted sides are really, really weak. But yeah, maybe they could get ahead of the likes of Brentford, maybe, who have Keith Andrews in charge and could struggle this season. But yeah, 20th spot, I've got Burnley, and it's pretty obvious that they'll go down. Now, in at Sunderland, then, we have got them in 19th spot. Of course, I don't know why I was doing it like a blooming transfer review, but we have got Sunderland in at 19th. Yes, they have impressed me with their little bit of business they have done this summer, but still, I still don't think it's going to be enough, unfortunately, to keep them in the division. They've brought in Granit Xhaka from Leverkusen, very experienced players, played in the Premier League before with Arsenal, of course. They've brought in Mark Guiu from Chelsea, young prospect. They brought Reinildo in, who's a good signing from Atletico Madrid. I think he played most of Atleti's games last season. They've brought in a young goalkeeper from Nijmegen in the Eredivisie. Sadiki, who is a midfielder. Enzo Lafitte's coming on a permanent. They've also signed Adingra from Brighton, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be enough, unfortunately, for Sunderland. Maybe they're looking to splash the cash a little bit more, but yeah, 19th spot is Sunderland. Reggie LeBriche just signed a new contract for Sunderland as well, which is good news for them, as I do kind of rate him as a coach. So yeah, I think Sunderland will be in at 19th spot. So yeah, I've got Sunderland down in 19th and going down, which is probably kind of expected, to be honest. Into 18th, and you've probably guessed it, yes, it is Daniel Farke and Leeds United. Even though with the Red Bull money and the amount of people, or some of the signings they are bringing in it, I still do have Leeds United to get relegated this season. Just because they're only in 18th, just because of their fans as well, the stature of the club. I still think they will get relegated under Daniel Farke this year. Maybe they might go for a change of management due to what was being said from the very start of this season, or towards back end of last, actually. They have brought in Anton Stack from Hoffenheim, defensive midfielder, Bijol from Udinese. I think we've already previously spoke about Lucas Perry from Lyon as well. Short, long staff, decent signing from Newcastle United. Goodmanson from Lille, Bonnot from Wolfsburg, as well as Lucas Nemetja, which is a decent signing. They have brought in I think have they lost Jack Harrison, or they've got him in as well there. Yeah, Leeds in 18th, just because the reason I've got them the highest, the Premier clubs, they finished highest in the Championship last season. They've done a bit of business that has just added to that strength, but I don't think they're going to be fighting in and around 70. They could be, they really, really could be if they do a bit more business, but yeah, I do have Leeds struggling down in 18th. In 17th and just surviving, we do have Brentford under Keith Andrews, and you probably could have guessed that I put Brentford here. Probably the weakest Premier League side out of the 17 clubs, if you don't include the newly promoted sides under Keith Andrews, because they lost Thomas Frank to Tottenham in the summer, of course. So they'll be looking to try and respond, but they have lost the likes of Brandon Burma. I think Johan Wissa's on the move as well. They have brought in Anthony Malambo from Feyenoord, young 20-year-old, for £20 million. Michael Coyote has also come in for £70 million. Kameen Kelleher is their goalkeeper replacement for Mark Fleck, and Ramel Donovan for Birmingham won't play. They've also signed Jordan Henderson from Ajax, good experience in the midfield, a bit bit leggy now, probably. Um, yeah, they have let go of Brandon Burma and Christian Norgard as well. Flecken's gone. Yeah, not great for Brentford. They've also let youngster Jisoo Kim go to Kaiserslautern in Bundesliga 2. And they've released Ben Mee and Josh De Silva. So, yeah, Brentford will be looking to survive this year, I think, just because I do not rate Keith Andrews as a coach. I think Brentford could definitely struggle this year. And, yeah, that's why I've got them in 17th spot. In at 16th is Graham Potter's West Ham United. They seem to be splashed of cash last season and it didn't really work after sacking Julian Lopetegui quite early on in the Premier League campaign last season. They have brought Todibo in for 40 million after he was on loan from Nice last season. They've also lost El Hadji Malik Diouf. They've also signed him, for £22 million, a young left midfield sign. They've also brought Kyle Walker-Peters in from Southampton and Callum Wilson in from Newcastle. So yeah, not a great window for West Ham so far, and that's why I've got them potentially struggling. They've also let go of Mohamed Kudus for 63 million. They do have a bit of money to spend, of course, without him. They also don't have Kurt Zuma, Danny Ings, Mikel Antonio, and Lucas Fabianski have all been released. So yeah, not great. They've also lost Soufal Cresswell, some experienced legs in the club. So yeah, that's why I've got West Ham struggling down in 16th, and I think they're only better than Brentford and the 3 promoted clubs. And yeah, it was a bit of a difficult season for them last season. I think it will be a difficult season for them this season. Yeah, 16th, West Ham United. Into 15th spot we go, and I have got Wolverhampton Wanderers, of course. Yeah, Wolves, they have brought in Jorgen Strand Larsen after he was on loan from Celta Vigo last season. Fer Lopez has come in, from Celta Vigo as well. Another young prospect there. John Arias come in as a right winger from Fluminense, probably after what he did in the Club World Cup in the summer. They've also seen Muller Wolf. They have let go of Mateus Cunha for 74 million and Brian Aït-Nouri for 36 million. They've also let go of Gonzalo Guedes, who were their 3 best players, and Nelson Semedo and Paulo Sarabia as well have also left. So yeah, Wolves could definitely struggle this season, but Vitor Pereira, I rate him as a coach from what he did at last season and what he's done in Saudi as well. So yeah, Wolves in 15th, maybe a bit of a surprise for you. Maybe I should have had them a bit lower down, but everybody has Wolves down there at the start of the season. I think they do deserve a bit of credit, and I've put them above yeah, West Ham and Brentford and the newly promoted club. So yeah, Wolves in 15th. Into 14th, and we have Nottingham Forest and Nuno Espirito Santo. That may come up as a surprise, but they did get found out towards the end of last season, and I think they definitely could struggle this year. They've brought in Dan and Doy from Bologna for 42 million. They've also signed Igor Jesus from Botafogo after his heroics in the Club World Cup over PSG, remember. Jair Cunha has signed from Botafogo as well. They've also signed Angus Gunn as a backup goalkeeper in there as well. They have let go of a lot of players. They've let go of Anthony Elanga for 61 million. They've let go of Danilo, who was a very good centre-back for them, or defensive midfielder last season. Roman Sosa's gone for 12 million as well. They've let go of Oman Badadile, whatever you want to call it. They've also let go of Matt Turner, Lewis O'Brien to Wrexham and Lyon, respectively. Harry Toffolo's left, Jonathan Panzo's left, and Tyler Binden has gone on loan to Sheffield United. So yeah, he was on loan at Reading last season. So yeah, Forest, I do think will struggle this season. That's why I've got them down in 14th. I just don't think they're going to be quite as good as previous seasons. So yeah, I just think Forest in 14th. What they did last season was their only good season. So yeah, Forest back to normality, I think, in 14th. 13th now, and we have the Evertonians, of course. Everton signing Thierry Barry from Villarreal for 30 million. Seems to be a lot to spend on a 22-year-old. They've also signed Kiernan Dewsbury Hall from Chelsea. Carlos Alcaraz has been moved permanent from Flamengo, ex-Southampton and Juventus, of course. Adam Asnou has gone from Bayern Munich as a left back. They've also signed Mark Travers from Bournemouth. So yeah, decent business. They're also looking at Jack Grealish, rumoured. Actually, they've let go of Neil Maupay now to Marseille. Thank God he's not in the league anymore, although he was a character, and the game does need more people like him. Mason Holgate has gone to Qatar. Yeah, Ashley Young's gone to Ipswich. And Asmir Begovic has gone to Leicester City. They've released Calvert-Lewin, who's a free agent. Doucouré is a free agent. and some random goalkeeper is a free agent as well for Everton. That's why I've got them in 13th. David Moyes knows what he's doing at this level. He's been here many, many, many times before. And yeah, I think Everton will be quite comfortably finishing in 13th here. And it's just another boring mid-table season for the Evertonians. So yeah, 13th, David Moyes and Everton. Into 12th, and we have Bournemouth, of course. Bournemouth only got them this far down is because they have let a lot of their star players to go. Yes, they brought in Jordan Petrovic and Adrian Truffert as some players, but they have let go of Dean Howson, Milos Kerkez, Jaden Anthony, Mark Travers, and Joe Rothwell all in there, who did play a part last season. So yeah, I think this might be a little bit of a more difficult season for Andoni Iraola's side this season. They have only really spent 42 million. They've let 123 million come through the door. So yeah, they've got plenty of money to spend, of course. Still, so yeah, they'll still be splashing the cash, you would imagine, for the back end of this transfer window. Will Bournemouth, there might be a team to watch at the end of this transfer window. So yeah, Bournemouth I've got in 12th, not really doing a lot this season, but yeah, we know Iraola is a great coach, and I think Bournemouth will just be in and around mid-table. Maybe could push for Europe in this mid-season, maybe, but yeah, I think they'll come up trumps in the end and finish in and around 12th. Into 11th, and it is Fabian Hertzler and his Brighton side. Not really done a lot in the transfer window so far. Brought in an 18-year-old from Olympiacos for £35 million. They've also brought in Maxime de Kuiper from Club Brugge, who was a left back. Tom Watson's also signed for them, but Sunderland did get Adingra in the process of that one. They've also signed Coppola from Hellas Verona and Du Young-yoon from Daejeon in the K-League. Brighton do like signing some young players and then developing them on and making money that way. That's how Brighton Football Club run. James Beadle has gone on loan. They have lost him to Birmingham, but he was on loan at Sheffield Wednesday. Their big losses are João Pedro for £63 million for Chelsea. Simon Adingra as well to Sunderland. Pervis Estupiñán's gone to AC Milan. So yeah, they have lost a few players, have Brighton and Hove Albion, but yeah, I think they'll still be quite comfortable to finish in and around that mid-table mark next season in 11th spot. So yeah, Brighton in 11th. Into 10th spot we go, and I've got Crystal Palace, of course. They haven't really done a lot under Oliver Glasner so far after winning the FA Cup back in May. They've brought in Borna Souza from Ajax for 2.3 mil and Benitez from PSV in the Eredivisie on a free transfer, so they've not really done a lot in the transfer window. They have let go of Ibuwai, but yeah, they've not really done a lot for Crystal Palace in the transfer window. Just let Schlupp go as well. So yeah, Palace in 10th, I think, could be another season. If they don't get off to a poor start under Oliver Glasner, they could definitely push for Europa League football next season, because they did work well with one of the informed teams at the back end of last season, similar to what happened in his first season in charge for Oliver Glasner after he took over from Roy Hodgson, I believe. So yeah, I've got Blackpool. Crystal Palace in 10th. I got confused because that's where Ibuwai's gone on here. So yeah, in 10th I've got Crystal Palace and Oliver Glasner, and I think it'll be another decent season for Crystal Palace. But yeah, they have to contend with Europa Conference League football after the FA Cup and ownership scandal and all of that with Nottingham Forest. So yeah, have fun with the Conference League, Palace fans. No, I don't actually mean that. Yeah, 10th place Crystal Palace. That's just me. Into 9th, and we have Marco Silva and his Fulham side. Of course, they've only done one bit of business, and that's brought in Benjamin Lecomte from Montpellier for 500k, have Marco Silva's side, and they haven't done really a lot either in the outgoings either. They've let Carlos Vinicius go, and that is about it as well. Yeah, Marco Silva's side, a bit similar to Crystal Palace. I think they'll be just as competitive as some of their rivals like Brentford, Brighton, Bournemouth have lost a few of their star players behind them, of course. So yeah, that's why I've got Fulham Palace just sneaking ahead of those two, as they will probably finish ahead of as they haven't really lost many players. Willian has been released, of course, or retired. I'm not sure what has happened to him, but yeah, Fulham in 9th, probably to be expected. So yeah, Fulham in 9th spot. So yeah, that's kind of expected, where they'll be as some of their rivals have lost ground in the transfer window. So yeah, Fulham in 9th spot. Into 8th spot, and we have Thomas Frank and his Tottenham Hotspur side. Mohamed Kudus is their main source of income this summer with the £63 million move. Of course, they've also brought in Mateus Tell, who was on loan there last season, did a pretty good job. Kevin Danto's also been brought in, who was also on loan last season as well. And then Vuskovic from Hajduk Split. They brought in Kota Taka, another younger Japanese centre-back from Kawasaki. Outgoings, they've left Heung-min Son for 22 million. Big loss for Tottenham is Heung-min Son, but I do think they'll bounce back this season. They won't do as bad as 22nd. They've let Mikey Moore go on loan to Rangers as well, and Højbjerg has left, who was on loan at Marseille last season. I believe they've released Reguilon, Forster, Whiteman in there as well. So yeah, that is Tottenham Hotspur in 8th spot, and Thomas Frank. I think it will be a better season for Tottenham than last, of course, in 8th spot this time around. And into 7th, you've probably guessed it already, and it is Manchester United. Man United bringing in Bryan Mbeumo from Brentford for a whopping £75 million. They've also brought in Matheus Cunha for £74 million. That is over £100 million already spent for them. They've let go of they've signed Diego Leon, an 18-year-old left-back from Cerro Porteño for £4 million in there as well. They haven't really let go of anything as of yet. They've let go Marcus Rashford on loan to Barcelona. That should be a permanent deal. Daniel Gordon to Rotherham, Ethan Wheatley to Northampton. Major releases are Victor Lindelof and Christian Eriksen, as Johnny Evans has retired. So yeah, Ruben Amorim will be looking for a better season than last. After finishing down in 15th, I think it was last season. So yeah, United will be looking for a better season this time around under Ruben Amorim, trying to do a better job than Erik ten Hag has done the previous 2 seasons. So yeah, 7th spot, I've got Manchester United. Into 6th spot, and I have got Unai Emery's side and Aston Villa. Yassine Oshchan is their only source of income this summer. 19-year-old centre-back from Kasimpasa. They've also brought in Micah Bizot as well from Stade Bressois. So not really done a lot recently in the transfer market. They've also let go of Kane Kessler-Hayden to Coventry for £4 million. So yeah, they have lost those big loanees of Rashford and Asensio, of course, who have returned to their parent clubs, or well, in Rashford's case, has gone to Barcelona. Yeah, Coutinho has left as well, 33 years of age. I think his career is done. Robin Olsen's also left as well. So yeah, Aston Villa in 6th, haven't really lost many big players, haven't really signed any big players, and I think it'll be quite a similar season for Aston Villa this season. So yeah, I've got them up in 6th position. So yeah, Aston Villa in 6th. Newcastle United now in 5th position. They have signed Anthony Elanga, of course, in there, which is one of their main signings. They've also got Aaron Ramsdale from the Saints, of course, as well. Southampton in there for 4.6. Apparently, it's a loan fee. Maybe it's if it's because Southampton get promoted back to Premier, it could work like that. But yeah, I'm not so sure about that. They've let go of Lloyd Kelly to Juventus, Sean Longstaff to Leeds as well. And they have let Callum Wilson go to the Irons and West Ham, of course. Yeah, not really a lot. They've brought in some decent players. They've actually strengthened overall, have Newcastle United. So yeah, 5th spot and just missing out on the Champions League places once again for Newcastle United and Eddie Howe, the Magpies. We'll be looking for a stronger season, but yeah, I think they might struggle a little bit now. But yeah, 5th place, they'll miss out on the top 4. It might be another disappointing season for the fans at St James's Park this season. So yeah, Newcastle in 5th spot. Into the top 4 then, and we have Chelsea, of course, a big spending window for Chelsea this summer. They've brought in some more young prospects of João Pedro from Brighton for 63 million. They've also brought Jamie Gittins in from Dortmund for 56 million. Joro Hato's coming for 44 million as well as Liam Delap from Ipswich, which we already knew about. They've also brought in Estevan from Palmeiras, 2 for 34 million. I'm not going to waffle on about all of Chelsea's signings. They've let go of Madueke for 56 million. They've done Arsenal one there, haven't they? João Felix gone to Al Nassr, Petrovic to Bournemouth, Ujuku to Burnley, Dewsbury Hall to Everton. My God, they've signed they've got rid of a lot of players. They've written Kepa to Arsenal, Bashir Humphreys to Burnley, Amugu to Strasbourg. I can't be bothered to mention all of them. That is a big spending for Chelsea and big outgoings at Chelsea as well. So yeah, Chelsea in the top 4 under Enzo Maresca. Can they challenge for the Premier League title this year? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think it might just be another season of Champions League football for Chelsea and their fans this season. So yeah, 4th spot, Chelsea. Into third, and I have got Arsenal, of course. Arsenal making moves this summer by signing Victor Gyökeres for £65 million. They've also signed Martin Zubimendi, a very good defensive midfielder from Real Sociedad, of course. Noni Madueke in there as well for 56 million. Mosquera as well. Norgard in there too. Kepa as well. Yeah, that is all they have signed, but yeah, it's not bad from Arsenal this summer. Victor Gyökeres is their main signing. That is not even their biggest signing in terms of money-wise this summer, with Zubimendi being the most one with 70 million there. They've also let go Nuno Tavares for 5 million, Marquinhos for 3 million. It's back to Brazil, where he came from. In Cruzeiro. So yeah, Arsenal in third spot. Mikel Arteta, can they challenge for the league this year? It's probably their best chance in years if they do have a striker like Victor Gyökeres up front. I just don't think they're going to have enough this season. I think there's two stronger teams, and you'll probably, well, you will have guessed who those two are. It's just which way around they are. So yeah, Arsenal in third spot here. In second spot, and it's probably really, really surprised you, and I've got Liverpool. That's right. Yes, they've spent about 400 billion trillion on every known player to man, but yeah, I've got Liverpool in second spot. I just don't think they're going to win the league. If you think of Pep Guardiola, if you take last season as a blip for Pep Guardiola and his Man City side, they've got Rodri back. Then yeah, we're not going to waffle on about Man City because you know that's who's in first. But yeah, Liverpool have signed Florian Wirtz for £125 million. Hugo Ekitike for another £195 million. Kirkes for £50 million. Frimpong for £40 million. Yes, I think he was out of contract at Leverkusen. So yeah, apart from that, they've brought in nobody. Freddie Woodman's coming on a free transfer. They've let go of Luis Diaz, of course, to Bayern Munich. Gerard Quanta's gone to Leverkusen. Kelleher has gone to Brentford. Trent's gone to Real Madrid, of course. So they have lost a few in key areas, and they have obviously strengthened in those key areas, of course, for Liverpool. But yeah, second spot, I'll waffle on about Manchester City when we get there. But yeah, second spot, I've got Liverpool, and just missing out on that Premier League title. I think it could be a title fight for one for the ages, and once we've had in the past between Klopp and Pep before, but this time it's Slot and Pep. Into the top spot, and you probably guessed it, it is Manchester City, of course. I've just put Man City here because if you just take Rodri out of that Man City side last season, they crumble, yes. If we're relying on Rodri to have no injuries next season, then City are going to win this league quite comfortably, won't they? City will win the league. Or will they? We don't know because we don't know what Liverpool are going to do. But yeah, City with Rodri back will be good and will be very, very good. But then saying that, they did lose to Al Hilal in the Club World Cup, but we don't know what squad they were playing. We don't know what was going on there with all the Club World Cup. But they have signed Tierney Rangers, Ryan Aït-Nouri in there, Ryan Cherki in there, James Trafford in there, there's Naipan in there as well, and Bettinelli from Chelsea, who won't be playing. They've let go of Jan Couto, who was on loan to Dortmund last season, I believe, for 20 million to Dortmund. They've let go of Kevin De Bruyne is a big loss, Kyle Walker's a big loss. That City team are starting to age as Scott Carson has retired, although he's without a club who's been released. I should say. So yeah, Man City have got winning the league. That's probably a surprise compared to what other people do have. But yeah, Manchester City in first spot for me and winning the Premier League overall. So yeah, Manchester City in first spot. Just a quick table review then for the upcoming season that we have just rolled through. Bottom three, Burnley, Sunderland, Leeds, as expected, newly promoted sides getting relegated straight away. Leeds United, well, we've already just spoke about those. Brentford in 17th, West Ham in 16th, Wolves in 15th, just saying Vitor Pereira, a very good coach, that's why I have them there. Forest in 14th, I think they'll be pretty bad this season. I think they'll fall off and Nuno's been found out. Everton in 13th, Bournemouth in 12th. Brighton in 11th, other found to be in Hertzler. Brighton, Bournemouth losing a few of their key players. That's why I've got them in 11th and 12th after the highs of last season, up in 7th and 8th, 8th and 9th, wherever they were. Palace in 10th, Fulham in 9th. Haven't really lost many players, and that's why I think they will jump their rivals likes of Brighton, Bournemouth, Brentford. Similar to Fulham as well. I've just said Fulham. Tottenham in 8th, Man United in 7th, expected for those two, but they could finish lower down. I've just got them there just because they are big clubs. Aston Villa in 6th, Newcastle in 5th, Chelsea in 4th, Arsenal in 3rd, Liverpool 2nd, and Man City to win the league. Yeah, top four, probably same as last season. I just think it'll be very similar. I think Man City with Rodri back will be the league winners once again. So yeah, that is my Premier League predictions, and that is the recap of it all done. Thank you very much for watching my Premier League 25-26 predictions. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff, and I'll speak to you all on the next one, which will be, I have no idea, the review on Monday, because I am away for the weekend. So yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll speak to you on the next one.